Go. Welcome, everyone. I'm Brother Doug. I'm with my sister Shushannahr here, our sister Sally, and our sister Marissa Brown. We are the Wakened by Yahuwah Assembly in Yahuwah Almighty and Yahushua Messiah. Today we are going to be continuing our book-by-book, chapter-by-chapter study of the Torah that we started a while ago, and we're also going to be doing a book-by-book, chapter-by-chapter study of Ayub, Job, today also. So we'll do one chapter of Genesis and one chapter of Job. I'll be starting us off. My sister Sally will be splitting Genesis chapter 26 with me, so I'm going to start us off here. I'll be using the Bren's English Septuagint. And let me see here. Let me just make sure that Sally's mic is working. Okay, yep. Sally, it seems like her mic is there. Okay. All right, here we go. And I will stop at about verse 17. So I'll read from Genesis 26, 1 to 17. Then I'll give it over to my sister Sally. Here we go, from the Bren's English Septuagint. And there was a famine in the land besides the former famine, which was in the time of Abraham, Isaac, and Isaac went to Abimelech, the king of the Philistines. Just gonna check something real quick. Doesn't say Philistines. Okay, it does. All right, interesting. So I got my ISR here physically just to check. Okay, if there's any differences here. And Yahuwah. Now here's a one. Yeah, it actually says Yahuwah in the Masoretic. All right, cool. And Yahuwah appeared to him and said, "Go not down to Egypt, but dwell in the land which I shall tell you of, and sojourn in this land, and I will be with you and barak you. For I will give to you and to your seed all this land, and I will establish my oath, which I swore to your father Abraham." So Yahuwah already is telling Isaac very specific instructions, commandments. You trust me, do what I'm telling you to do. Don't go to Egypt, but go to the land that I will show you. Very similar commandments he gives to Abraham. Okay. And I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven. Very same covenant there. And I will give to your seed all this land, to his physical descendants, all this land, and all the nations of the earth, or you could even say ethnos here. Just would like to look that up real quick, if that's the same Greek word ethnos we see in the New Testament for nations. Sperma. Let's see, sperma. I'm just curious to see if ethnos is actually there. Here, Su, Didomi. I was just curious to see if ethnos was there, because usually ethnos is the Greek word where we get ethnicities from. Yep, boom. G1484, ethnos, like ethnicity. Okay. So basically, all ethnicities of the earth shall be Baruch in his seed. Because Abraham, your father, hearkened or listened to my voice and kept my injunctions and my commandments and my ordinances, meaning, his laws, statutes, my statutes. And Isaac dwelt in Gerar. Now, what does the Masoretic use for that verse? What is that, verse 6? Yeah, Gerar. Okay. And the men of the place questioned him concerning Rebekah, his wife. And he said, "She is my sister," for he feared to say, "She is my wife." Again, this is where Isaac is copying his dad here. And he's afraid of this pagan king, because sometimes the pagan lands don't have fear of the father. And so he's saying that she is my sister. This is kind of like borderline lying. I would say this is kind of like, it's that gray area, because, technically she is, back then you had intermarriages in between, second, third cousins, or possibly technically someone that would be his sister, but not directly his sister, if that makes any sense. So yeah, we're going to see how this turns out here. But so far, it seems like he's lying, saying his wife is his sister instead of saying Rebekah is his wife. For he feared to say, she is my wife, lest at any time the men of the place should slay him because of Rebekah, because she was fair, meaning she was attractive. And he remained there a long time. And Abimelech, the king of Gerar, leaned to look through the window and saw Isaac sporting with Rebekah, his wife. Now, it's interesting it says sporting, like playing around, so in this context, who knows? It could have been a little bit more than sporting, because the Masoretic text in this same verse will say he was caressing her in certain versions. So it might have been a little bit more than sporting. Because in the next verse, Abimelech called Isaac and said to him, is she then your wife? Why have you said she is my sister? Isaac said to him, I did so, for I said, lest at any time I die on her account. So he was afraid for his life, so that's why he said that. Now what's interesting is, sporting is actually in the Samaritan Pentateuch. Okay, maybe there's a context about that word sporting we don't know about. Certain English words have evolved over time. And these older English translations, sporting could mean more than just playing around. We don't know. Anyway, so verse 10 says, let's see, and here we go. And Abimelech said, what this you have done unto us, one of the people might lightly have lied with your wife, meaning they might have slept with your wife, not realizing she's your wife. And you should have brought guiltiness or sin upon us. And Abimelech charged all his people, saying, he that touches this man or his wife shall surely be put to death. Wow, this is a righteous king here. Then Isaac sowed in that land and received in the same year 100-fold, and Yahuwah baruch him. So Yahuwah gave him a barakah in that land. All right, so now we're at verse 13. And the man waxed great and went forward and grew until he became very great. For he had possessions of flocks, possession of herds, a great store of servants. So he had a lot of manservants or maidservants, probably both. And the Philistines envied him, so they started getting jealous. For all the wells which his father's servants had digged in the days of Abraham his father, the Philistines had stopped them and filled them with dirt. Okay, so earth is the same thing as dirt. Eretz, the Hebrew word where we get eretz, means land, dirt. So that's why you see it saying it was filled with earth. And Abimelech said unto Isaac, go from us, for you are much mightier than we. So there's becoming a problem between the two. Now we're getting to the part where Abimelech and his people, feel like, they're getting envious and jealous of Isaac because he has all these possessions, these herds, and, he has all these wells. And so Abimelech is telling him, basically get away from that. Get away from us. Have your own possession. Don't be sharing with us. And then I'm going to read the last verse here, and then Sister Sally will take over. And Isaac departed there and pitched his tent in the valley of Gerar and dwelt there. So in short, Isaac respected Abimelech. He said, all right, fine. You guys are getting envious of me. I'm going to go somewhere else where I have my own land. You have your own land. So he's trying to keep the peace. So anyway, I'll let Sister Sally continue here at verse 18.
And Yitzchak dug again the wells of water, which they had dug in the days of Abraham his father, for the Philistines had stopped them up after the death of Abraham. And he called them by the names which his father had called them. But when Yitzchak's servants dug in the wadi and found a well of running water there, the herdsmen of Gerar strove with Yitzchak's herdsmen saying, "The water is ours." And he called the name of the well Esek, or Esek, because they strove with him. And they dug another well, and they strove over that one too. And he called its name Sitnah. And he moved from there and dug another well, and they did not strive over it. And he called its name Rehoboth, and said, "For now Yahuwah has made room for us, and we shall bear fruit in the land." And from there he went up to Beersheba, and Yahuwah appeared to him the same night and said, "I am the Elohim of your father Abraham. Do not fear, for I am with you, and shall barak you, and increase your seed for my servant Abraham's sake." And he built an altar there, and called on the name of Yahuwah, and he pitched his tent there. And the servants of Yitzchak dug a well there. And Abimelech came to him from Gerar, and Ahuzath, one of his friends, and Pichol, the commander of his army. And Yitzchak said to them, "Why have you come to me, seeing you have hated me, and have sent me away from you?" But they said, "We have clearly seen that Yahuwah is with you." And we said, "Please, let there be an oath between us, between you and us, and let us make a covenant with you, that you do no evil to us, as we have not touched you, and as we have done only good toward you, and have sent you away in peace. You are now blessed or baraked by Yahuwah." And he made them a feast, and they ate and drank. And they rose early in the morning, and swore an oath with one another. And Yitzchak let them go, and they departed from him in peace. And on the same day it came to be that the servants of Yitzchak came and informed him about the well which they had dug, and said to him, "We have found water." So he called it Shibah. Therefore the name of the city is Beersheba to this day. And when Esau was 40 years old, he took his wives Yehudath, the daughter of Beeri the Hittite, and Basemat, the daughter of Elon the Hittite. And they were a bitterness of spirit to Yitzchak and Ribkah.
Thanks, Sister Sally. That's a really important verse, the second to last verse you just read, because it shows that Esau was not an obedient son to his mom and his dad. He was not supposed to be marrying a Hivite and a Hittite, and so that shows you along there that he did not take care to listen to what his mom had said about not marrying the Canaanites, not to marry these women from these tribes that come all the way back to Canaan. So that's something I took away from this chapter too. Seems like there was a lot of rivalry between Isaac and his servants and Abimelech and his servants, and Abimelech was very jealous, and so were the Philistines, who he was the king over. So very weird. And so I see that the big contention was the wells, who would be in possession of the wells. So that's what I kind of took from this chapter. Also about Isaac copying Abraham, he was fearful about being killed in this land, so he said that Rebekah was his sister, even though she's really his wife. So kind of interesting. He's imitating his dad there. I don't know if I would want to repeat that, but I can understand that he was afraid of Abimelech, because he didn't know if Abimelech was a Yah-fearing man, a Yahuwah-fearing man. So he was just very afraid for his life. Trying to see if there's anything else I got from this chapter. Obviously Beersheba was another place that was named there for specific purpose in verse 33. And so it had to do with the well that was digged there by Isaac's servants. And so Beersheba was the name of it, because it was first called Sheba, was the name of the city. Let's see here, and trying to see if there's anything that. So anyway, that's pretty much what I took from this. I thought it was interesting also in verse 30, they made him a feast. He made them a feast. So it sounds like, let's see here. Let's see, you will do us no hurt. So he made them a feast. I'm guessing them was the servants of Isaac or the servants of Abimelech. Let me just see here. And Isaac said unto them, wherefore you come to me, seeing you hate me? And they said, we saw certainly that Yahuwah was with you. And we said, let there not be an oath between us and you. Let us make a covenant with you, and that you will do us no hurt. So yeah, so as we have not touched you and we have not done anything but to you, and have sent you away in peace, you now, Baruch of Yahuwah, and he made them a feast. So Isaac made them a feast to show there's no harsh feelings. Okay. So I was just trying to figure that out before we go forward. I wanted to try to figure out what was going on with that. Okay. Very interesting that it goes to obviously Esau at the end there. But yeah, very interesting chapter. I'm going to see if Sister Marissa has anything to add, or Shushannahr, before we go to the book of Ayub, Job.
No, I actually don't.
Okay.
Pretty straightforward.
What happened?
I said I think it's pretty straightforward.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to double check. All right. So we'll be staying, viewers and listeners, but we're just going to end this recording and we'll start a new one for Ayub. So the studies will be separated when I put them up. All right.